Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of TV is a Real Mom. I'm your host, Dave, and as always, I'm joined by my co host, my sister, Katie. Katie, what's happening?
Nothing. It's been a long time. What's happening with you?
Not too much. Yeah, it's been quite a while.
It's been a couple of months. I was thinking about it. Last year, we had stuff going on in between Survivor seasons, like Alone was on, and maybe that was it. But there was a reason for us to keep podcasting. But this 2 month, period, there's been nothing. I mean, Celebrity Big Brother, but that was just a whole bunch of nonsense. So,
Yeah, actually, I watched pretty much all of Celebrity Big Brother, believe it or
mhm.
not. So,
Well, it's not much of a commitment. It's way easier to handle than a regular season of Big Brother.
yeah, and there's quite a few commercials, I feel like, so you can sort of just, you know,
So
do something else and watch it.
that's true. It's a
you know,
good background kind of show.
yeah, that's kind of how I treated it, and it was only like 3 weeks long, so yeah, I watched it.
Yeah. What'd you think of it?
I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It seems to be the consensus. A bit of a People are kind of upset about the winner, about how people are bitter, juries are bitter, whatever. But I'm like, these are celebrities with the biggest and most fragile egos of anyone. So I don't know why they're surprised the jury was butthurt and bitter. But who cares? It's
yeah,
Celebrity Big Brother.
yeah, yeah. But I don't think we should waste another second talking
Okay,
about
okay,
that.
sorry.
No, I mean, I was doing it too. You don't blame yourself.
All right.
I'm guilty. But yeah, let's get into why we're really here, Katie, to talk about the whole reason we started podcasting in the first place, and that is to talk about Survivor.
Ghost Island.
Survivor Ghost Island starts the day after tomorrow.
Yikes. That's crazy.
Pretty crazy. And let's talk a little bit about the theme for a minute. Are you excited about this theme, Katie?
Yeah, I am. I think it's a hell of a lot better than Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, just by name alone. So,
Yeah, I think, the name with HHH was a little rough, but I mean, that's the format that's worked really well for them. You know,
I think people are tiring of it, though.
Yeah, I think they just had so much success with the first Brains Bronze Beauty that they've just been trying to ride that. They've been trying to capture that essence again, and they've never really gotten it quite back. You know what I mean?
No, their most successful season since then, I would say, was Millennials Gen X, which was, I guess they're still doing the qualifying people, not necessarily by personality, but by generation. But they're still like giving them a personality trait or something that puts them with a like group of people. And this season seems like they've just thrown that out the window, which is nice to see for once.
Yeah, yeah, I think this theme is pretty cool. I've heard a lot of talk, people saying it's like super cheesy, but I don't know. I don't mind it. I'm
Who said
kind of
it's cheesy?
I don't know. I thought I heard people saying that it's
I've not
kind
heard that once.
of okay. So most people are excited about it. I'm just making
I
this
don't
up.
know. I mean, most of my information comes from Josh Wigler and Rob Cesternino, and they seem fine with it. So
Right.
mostly Josh Wigler and Dalton Ross too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's going to be cool. I don't really know what to expect. I mean, can you help me out? Help anyone out who like doesn't know what this is about? What is Ghost Island? What's going on here?
Well, first of all, Ghost Island is a physical place, and I believe a member of a tribe that loses immunity will be selected by the winning team, and sent to Ghost Island. And they will miss tribal council, which means they are immune from the vote.
Serious?
So, yeah,
So the person who gets sent to Ghost Island is immune?
yeah.
Wow. Like, and I thought, yeah, there isn't there also advantages on that island?
That's
Like,
what they're not being super specific about. Like are you up to date on First One Out? Because
yes, yeah, yep.
yeah, because like, I don't know if the fire making thing is going to be part of the actual game or if that was just for Wiggler's benefit. I don't know, but it seemed like if you make fire, you get to pick from a different jar, and there's something in there, but we never found out what it was. I don't know if that's actually part of the game. That could have just been part of his experience. But I just think there's going to be either a clue or a place you can go if you accomplish something, and you will be rewarded in some kind of way. I don't think every person that goes there will get an idol or an advantage, but I don't know. It's very murky right now. But thematically, it's like a place where you just have a bunch of old survivor relics, and the theme is that a lot of items are cursed and past mistakes of survivors, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it a million times by now, right?
Yeah, that's what I started to gather, is that there is some kind of aspect of a challenge, like you said, of if you accomplish something, then you sort of get to pick pick an idol or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's there. I think there's a reason they're not revealing it, because it's probably pretty good on the show. So I think we just have to wait 2 more days, because I assume it's a 2-hour episode. We're going to see somebody go to Ghost Island and live there for a night or whatever. So, they're saving it, and that's good. That's fine.
Yeah, I've heard it's a 2-hour episode, and I heard there's 2 eliminations. So.
Right. That sucks. Well, they have 20 people. What are you going to
do? Yeah, they got to get it moving. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love that many people on a season. Seems like a lot.
When's the last? Well, they did Game Changers.
They do 20 a lot. I get it, but
yeah, it's either 20 or 18.
It seems like a lot of people. Do you really need 20 people?
Yeah, if you are going to eliminate 2 people in the first night, why not just have 2 tribes of 9 people?
Yeah, I think that's 18 is more than enough. You could even knock it back down to 16. Probably wouldn't.
They'll never do that again. Maybe for the all winter season, but I don't think.
I don't see why 16 isn't plenty, honestly.
Yeah, because we always end up with a double boot quick episode or whatever. So if you just start with 16, everything's easy. 1 person a week, bam, 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 the end.
Yeah, I think it's probably so they can cushion the season, just in case something goes awry, like
in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, or like the Nicaragua situation
where
2 or 3 people quit.
Yeah,
2 people quit at once and another person was considering quitting. I think they're just trying to make sure they always have a way out of that situation, because you can't just bring in other people if a bunch of people quit. So
that's fair. That's fair.
I think that makes sense. That's probably why they do that.
So you just talked yourself back into 20 is okay.
Well, I guess I can see why they do it. I think I would prefer 16. It would be like a more concise season.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have to rush anything,
Right.
But anyways, I think we should probably just get right into talk about the cast, huh? Because we got like 20 people to go through.
Yeah.
We don't have much time. So
yeah, we better crush it, get through it. Let's do it.
Let's get into it. So I've got Hollywood Reporter's website up here with separated by tribe, the cast.
Excellent.
Starting, I think it's in alphabetical order by first name. So
don't you want to go by tribe though?
Yeah, by tribe, alphabetical by first name by tribe.
Okay, got it. I missed that.
Yeah,
little chunk.
So, but the problem with doing it in this order is that the very first person is the person that you hate the most. So,
well, let's get it out of the way. Let's get the negativity out of the way.
Yeah,
and I don't necessarily hate her the most. I just
okay.
I've got things. There's stuff. There's stuff we should address. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, and that brings up another thought I was having, is like, I didn't love the way we acted in our last podcast.
Oh, come on. Everybody was mad. Don't be so hard on us.
I just want it to be fun, I don't want to take it so seriously this time. Okay. If Ben wins again this season, if he comes out of the bushes.
That was the first time it happened. When you first experience something terrible, it's bad, but you get numb to it. So we're numb to it now. It's fine.
Okay. I'm just saying, is it that terrible? So like, do we have to be so mad about it?
I just want you to know that we're not the only ones complaining about it.
Right.
We've cooled off. I'm never going to like the way that ended. And I'm sorry if that comes off bad, but it's time to move on.
Right. Yeah, I'm just saying, let's have fun. Survivor's just a show, and
Okay, but people expect me to say what I actually think if I don't like somebody, so I'm not gonna not say it. Is that
no,
okay?
that's fine.
Okay.
Definitely express your honest opinions
Yes,
for sure. I
will
just
do.
yeah. So we're gonna start with Angela, and so Katie's gonna vent and get out all her hate
I don't
right
hate her.
away.
She's just okay. This is what was happening, and maybe it's because of the first one out. I was just tired of hearing these people talk and the same answer the same questions over and over. But she would just go on these rants, and they would never end. And I was like, by the end, I was in my car. I was like, why? I was like yelling at her, like, why are you still talking? Please shut up. And it still took her like 2 full minutes of stream of consciousness speaking to shut up, which makes me think she's screwed. She's doomed. She's not going to be able to hide her, and she was talking about how she's a badass. And I don't know. Tell me what you think, because I don't want to get too far down this path.
Well, there's a couple things here. She is heavily featured in all the previews and stuff, and lots of shots of her, as part of the season. So I have a feeling she doesn't not sorry. I have a feeling she goes far. I don't know.
Okay, maybe I got the wrong impression.
I feel like that is really a thing that Survivor does is in the previews, the people they show a lot, there's going to be one or two of them that are early boots, and then the rest are main characters of the season. So you can pretty much assume that if they're featured heavily in the previews, they're going to be big characters.
That's unfortunate.
Something to keep in mind, because I feel like let's look back quick at last season. Don't you think that's kind of how it was? Don't you think like Ryan, Ben,
all those Mike people, and Ryan and Ben
and Devin.
Devin wasn't in there.
Was he not featured much? No. But he also didn't make the final.
Devin was a beautiful surprise.
Yeah, so that's a theory I have. Maybe it's wrong.
No, you're right, because remember Millennials versus Gen X with Zeke and David, and it was all those guys.
Yeah, and Adam, if you go back, Adam was probably
not really in the mix that much.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I thought, based on this theory, you might not have remembered him as much, but there'd be shots of him in there,
Look, I think she's going to be a colorful character because she has all this military experience, and how CBS likes to embrace that. And she just talks all the time. She never stops talking. So like if she's going to be someone who people either relate to, or that is just one of those weird characters that is good on the screen, but the other tribal castaway people don't like her. So I don't know. She didn't strike me as super self-aware. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to say about her. That's how it's going to be with me for a lot of people on this cast. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of opinions on these people. All I remember about her, she's like a military person. Right. She said she's one of the guys.
Yeah, I don't like it when girls say that. There's another girl that says that, who's like, oh, I'm a guy's girl, whatever. That bothers me.
Well, she really stressed that in the military being such a huge part of her life, she has always just been around alpha males. So she's kind of become accustomed to that's like just what she's used to. So
she's adopted their manner of speaking. You know how like
she's a little
cops and like military people have a lingo. She definitely has that. But like, there was one thing that bothered me more than anything, and she's like, I think, a single mom, and she has a teenage son or whatever. And on 2 different occasions, on first one out, she was saying how her son's friends think she's hot. And that's, to me, like something an insecure and like super not self-aware person says.
Yeah, you really shouldn't say something like that.
It's messed up on many different levels. And so I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I could see that. So yeah, I don't have much to say about her. I'm basing my belief that she's going to go far based on, like I said, she's featured a lot in the previews.
That's a fair point.
So that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't really care for her either way. I don't feel anything about I feel nothing about her. I don't.
Well, That's better than I think I might have just been in a mood that day, and she was like one of the last people ever, period, on First One Out, and I was just over it.
I do seem to remember on First One Out getting this sense that she was a weird fit for Survivor.
She isn't like the rest of the people he talked to. There's just something missing, but you have to have those people as well.
Yeah, I think there's a reason it took her so long to get on the show.
Okay.
You know? And there's a few people like that in this cast. I think, in this cast, this is something we didn't mention yet, but this is a cast intentionally put together of people who are big fans of the show. So I think you're going to have a lot of people, and yeah, you obviously do, because we know this about them. You have a lot of people who have tried out many times, and they were like, nah,
yeah,
not now.
Yeah,
maybe
you know
later.
what? There are quite a few people who were like in the running at one point, but then they didn't make it. So is it a cast of like sloppy seconds?
I think it's going to be a lot of that. But the thing about people like that is they've gotten better. They've grown over time. They've kept chasing the dream. They're persistent. So, they want it. And and they've gone through the casting process multiple times. So they know what the TV producers are looking for. So that's kind of a good thing too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good things about that sloppy seconds cast.
That's true. Just because you're overlooked once or twice or many times doesn't mean you're not going to be a superstar once you get on there. It just didn't work out at the time.
Yeah. But Angela, more than just about anybody, struck me as someone who she barely got on this season. There's a reason they kept casting her aside. And
yeah, I wonder if they didn't have any older women, because she's the oldest woman on the cast. She's like 42.
At 42, yeah, it's a really.
And they were like, well, we need someone in their 40s because we have 2 guys in their 40s and no women, so we need to at least get somebody. So maybe that's what happened there.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Who knows? But
we'll never know.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Bradley Cleig.
Sure.
Do you know how to say that?
No, I don't think anybody does except him. Maybe
Bradley. He's the only Bradley on the season.
Brad.
Unlike Stephanie, he's the only Bradley.
Okay.
So, what do you think about Bradley? What do you got?
I want to hear your opinion first.
Oh, me go first?
Yeah.
So opinions. I'm not coming up with a lot on that front.
Okay. Well,
I can just
give me one word about this guy that you feel about this guy.
Cocky.
Okay. It's fair.
Arrogant. Yeah, he's arrogant.
Yeah, very major Spencer vibes. I felt the same exact way about Spencer in his pregame stuff. And he speaks very much the same way. Except when I watched his CBS video, he seemed a lot warmer, a lot more smiley, a lot more like open to maybe he was just really excited. I don't know. And when he was talking to Josh, he was not very excited, but like I kind of cooled on or warmed up to him a little bit, but yeah, he is, a bit elitist, I think. I don't know. Like thinks he might be better than people. He's
really smart, right? Where am I getting that? Did he go to
he's
some
in law
college?
School.
Yeah, law school.
Yeah. And I think when he says like, oh, I have trouble connecting with like simpler people, that's not great. But I think that might be people who say that. To me, it reeks of like they experienced not fitting in. And most people, when you go to high school or even college, undergrad, it's like most people are just kind of fun and simple and whatever. But if you find your people, the people you connect with, then you can start to like see why you didn't connect with those people and maybe like mock them in a way. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just saying that he maybe didn't quite fit in when he was younger. Now he's found his niche, his people, and therefore he feels he can't connect with those people.
Okay. Yeah, I could dig that. Yeah, I just get the Spencer vibe too. I mean, that's pretty much You couldn't sum it up much better than that. That he has the same exact vibe as Spencer did going into Kagayan. So
he was Spencer.
yeah,
Spencer got
no,
cast in his spot.
Yeah, and that's why I totally believe him when he says that. You know,
Yeah.
it's yeah, he's the same guy.
Yeah. So I don't know if he and Angela are gonna have much to talk about.
Yeah. So all these guys are super fans, right? Can we?
Yeah, it's fans and super fans.
Right. So yeah, can we quickly say like what level of fan each person is? Like,
sure.
So what is Bradley?
Super fan.
Super fan. Sure. So like every season?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I think he could do all right. What do you think?
I was down on his chances until I watched like actual video of him and I felt a little bit better. I think he can maybe, his problem will be like he said, like not coming off as like cocky or know-it-all, you know?
So he's aware that he needs to tone that down?
Yeah, very.
Okay, good. Wasn't he somebody's winner pick too?
I haven't heard any winner picks. Well,
you haven't? I've heard
besides Rob and Nicole.
I feel like I've heard quite a few.
Really? Well, you'll have to share them with me because I've only heard two.
Where I'm getting that from. Somebody picked Bradley, I swear.
That's not a bad pick.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
Chelsea Townsend. This is the Naviti tribe, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, I don't know. She's okay. Young, she's cute. She seems she's like an EMT, so she's like she can get down and dirty.
She can handle the pressure.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing. I recently started working at a hospital. So you start to get a sense of like how intense these people's work days are.
Yeah.
Like I'm an IT guy at a hospital. So I don't have I can be around this stuff, but I don't usually have to deal with any super high pressure situations.
Right.
But I really get an appreciation for what those types of people have to go through in their workday. It takes a special kind of person. So as an EMT, I think that's her biggest strength going into the game is going to be that ability to handle high pressure situations.
Yeah, and she's also like a cheerleader, so she's bubbly and like outgoing.
Yeah, and I guess she has experience with high pressure social situations, like cheering for the Utah Jazz or whatever. So
yeah, she seems like at first glance she seems like your like run of the mill survivor chick. She looks great in a bikini. She's probably going to get along with everyone. She's probably going to go really far. But there might be more than that there. So I think she might be one of those sleepers to watch out for.
Yeah, I like her. Also, she's apparently a big Game of Thrones reader.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
But like everyone noticed that, and everyone was pointing out, oh, this chick's reading Game of Thrones. You know that she knows people are noticing her reading this book. Why is she doing it? Is it just because she needs a good book to get into while she's out there?
Because you have nothing to do all day, and Game of Thrones sucks the time away, and that's like one of the best things you can do to pass your time is read Game of Thrones.
So you think she's just legitimately that cool and
I think so, and I think that, and a lot of people read Game of Thrones. It's not like it's this unique thing. Like these days, like half the people you meet have read Game of Thrones, but I just think people have like nothing to do but look at the other people and observe what they can, and one of the things they can look at is what they're reading, and everybody loves Game of Thrones, so they're like, oh, she's reading Game of Thrones.
Right. And I also people were saying how she like reminded them of a character from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, who do you think she would be?
I don't know, I'm thinking like Lady Melisandre.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, except hopefully she won't burn children at the stake. I think she looks like Melisandre, but maybe she's more of like a hopefully she's like an Arya.
I don't know, man. She's got an evil look about her, and like they dressed her in black. So it's like,
Good, bring it on. I want some like evil cutthroaty girl. Bring it on. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I'd love to see her play a villain character this season. That would be sweet.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had that.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that, as they say.
As the millennials say. I am here for it.
I am here for it. Not that. I'm here for it.
I think it's both, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Should we move on?
Yeah, we can move on.
Chris Noble.
Oh.
One word?
Guy. Yeah.
One word for him?
From you? Let's hear it.
From you.
One word? Oh, God. I can't think of... Oh, one word for Chris Noble.
As much as I actually...
TV gold. That's 2 words. But...
As much as I don't mind him, douche, comes to mind.
Yeah. He's a douche canoe,
he's
for
douchey.
Sure.
But he almost seems like he could be one of those guys who like knows he's a douche. He just likes it. He's like...
He's running with it.
Yeah, he's like, I like being a douche, you know? Maybe. I don't know.
He is like... It's been a while since I listened to his first one out, so I can't remember anything specific that he said. But Josh Wigler was just loving it. You could tell. He named the whole episode after this guy because he loved him so much. But
what did he name the episode?
The Noble one, I think.
Oh my god.
But I don't know. Like, he's clearly a big douche, but like I have a lot of not respect. I don't know. I appreciate him like saying all his like theories of what he's gonna do and all his thoughts on Survivor. He's not very self-aware, it would seem, but he's gonna be like a coach, I think, almost. Like, he's really assured of his own awesomeness, even though everyone else around him can see that he's just a douche.
Yeah, no, I think you're totally right. That he fits that character type of the coach or the Philip, because he just loves him some Chris Noble. And
oh man,
he's got that thing where it's like you can't really take him seriously, but he takes himself pretty seriously. So
I don't know how he's gonna play. I wonder how he'll get along with people. If they think he's just a blockhead, a douche, but he helps in challenges, they might keep him around. He's a good, it's always good to have a target in front of you. And he seems like the kind of person, like a Philip, that you would keep around. Except the danger you run into with that is those guys get to thinking that they're running stuff. Like Coach did. Coach really was running stuff in like his 3rd season, but I'm talking about like 1st season Philip and 1st season Coach, when they're just stooges. But you gotta, if you're Rob, you can sit back and let them think it. But it takes like Rob to pull that off because they're so annoying. You know what I mean?
Right. And there's always a chance early on that they could annoy people so much that they vote him out, Yeah. I'm actually really curious to see how he ends up getting along with the women of the season, because he's one of these guys who thinks he's God's gift to women, and so far, like, all the women are saying like, oh God, get away from me, most
women can sense that a mile away.
But he is a model, and so like he's
very handsome.
He's got striking good looks, and sometimes that like cocky attitude and that sort of like self-love, regardless of what other people like try to beat you down, and they're just like, they still just love themselves. Like sometimes like women do find that attractive. So I'm curious, like if he ever like grows on these women, or if he's just going to continue to be that annoying douchebag. And I think it's probably the latter, but it'll be fun to see if somehow he like grows on people in general. And I'm just interested in seeing that dynamic, I guess.
Do you think there's a possibility he might pull like a Garrett? You know what I mean? From Cagayan, like he's super jacked, he's really muscular, but then he gets out there and he's like, shit, this is hard and I'm dying and I need to leave.
I could totally see it, but doesn't he have like a beach background of like...
Yeah, I've already forgotten his background that he talked about. I don't remember.
I think he has like a Florida beach background. but I don't know how much that entails, like actually working hard or suffering. It's
Okay.
probably more just like partying on yachts and shit.
That
But
could be
who was the one that was also from Florida?
Sebastian.
There's like a girl though. The
Morgan.
one that he was crushing on, I think.
Sebastian and Morgan.
Morgan. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I could totally see the Garrett comparison. I can't remember if Garrett was like a beach guy too, or was he like a
He was just a
Midwestern?
meathead. He was like a lawyer or something. He was really smart. He was on the Brains tribe. But like, wouldn't it be funny if
I think he.
Bradley teams up with Chris Noble? It's like a Spencer Garrett thing, and then Chris Noble just punks out, and then he's like, if Bradley can get the Spencer underdog thing going, he might become likable the way Spencer did.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if those parallels actually.
I don't think Bradley's going to have time for this guy, but you know, if he's smart, you team up with a bonehead like Boston Rob did.
Yeah. I just remember not feeling that bad about him and his chances after listening to his interview with Wiggler. I thought he surprised me in a couple ways. Just
yeah, sometimes he would say something and you were like, he's got such a douchey voice, but that makes sense. And it was confusing.
No, it became apparent to me that he does understand the game. He's a lot like myself, where I actually watch the show. A lot of the time I watch the show with my mom, and part of the reason I got into this show was like it's become like a ritual, like it's a family bonding thing. Like I share the same thing with you. Like I found that interesting that a lot of cast members this season had mentioned that they're like, oh, it's a family ritual. Like it's what we do on Wednesday night. Like we watch Survivor, and Chris has that too. So that kind of, that scored points with me, I guess.
Yeah. And it also scored points with me because Dalton Ross made them like write a little love note to their favorite players. And I like it when a guy player picks a woman player, and vice versa when when they go outside the box, when a girl doesn't just pick Parvati, you know what I mean? Yeah. And his favorite player apparently is Michaela. And I thought, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. So Chris is like a big question mark, and
I'm really question mark.
Curious to see like how he comes across with his tribe mates and on TV as well.
Definitely. I'm excited to see him.
Yeah. Should be good.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Desiree Afuye. Afuye? Afu?
That sounds right. Yeah, sure.
Desiree. 21-year-old from, wasn't she from New York?
I think she's from New York.
Yeah. She was homeless at one point, living out of her car. Busted her ass to do, what does she do now? Like I can't remember
what it's some type of media, you know,
she probably
New York nonsense.
Faked her way into a social media job of some kind.
That sounds right.
Who knows? That's obviously just an assumption. I don't know if that's true at all, but
yeah. Well, she's 21. Most 21-year-olds fake their way into jobs like that.
And get paid way better than we did for going to school. And
sure. Where did I work when I was 21? The Dairy Queen? I think that's where I worked. So.
Such a tough road, Catie. It's a tough road we hoe. Is that the word? Hoe?
Tough road to hoe.
You hoe the road.
Or is it a row? Tough row to hoe.
Tough row to hoe. That makes way more sense.
It does, because, wow, I always thought, okay, never mind.
It's a tough road to walk and a tough row to hoe.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. What do you feel about Desiree?
I'm a little worried about her. I think she might have trouble. She seems quiet, but very observant and very smart. And I think she might scare some people because of her, like, I don't know if she is standoffish, but that's what people were saying about her in the first one out stuff, and that she was really analyzing everybody pretty hard. So I don't know. She'll have to get right in there on day one, and like if she doesn't like these people, which there are a lot of people it seems she had hesitations about, she needs to fake it. She needs to get in there and be like, yeah, this is awesome, woo. And from what I've heard, which is not very much, I don't know if she'll be able to do that, but I'm doing exactly what she was doing. She was observing everybody and saying what she thought about them. So I'm probably the same way, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I get from her is, she's got a good read on people.
Yeah.
Like, she seems like you said, she seems to observe and has good reads on people. So that's good. But I agree that I feel a little, I'm not feeling great about her chances because, like you said, she's quiet. I don't know if this is even true. She seems quiet and she might have a tough time getting along.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the only thing. And if she gets through those first 3 days and just at least forms a bond with like a couple of people, I think she'll be okay because she's smart. But she could, if she's weak in a challenge, like one challenge, and she's like not right in there socializing, that's any excuse they need to get rid of her. And it could be her if they go to tribal council.
Right on.
If it's not the douche bag, you know.
Yeah. I got nothing else to say about her.
Okay.
Dominique Abate.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, he seems cool. What are your thoughts on him?
He's the cool older guy, which is sad because he's not really that old. He's a dad. He's a construction worker. I'm just saying facts about him now. Why do I like him? He seems cool. He seems fun. Like he seems like he's kind of that guy you joke with who, you know, he messes with you, but in a good-natured way that makes you feel happy that he's talking to you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Funny, but smart too. He seems really smart. I don't know how threatened people are going to be by him just because like I said, he's not old, but compared to everyone else, he is. The only thing that worries me is these dads. You have Ben and Jeremy, although they didn't know about Ben, so that's fine. That's going to be like, you can't take him to the end, can't take him to the end. So that's a concern. So I don't know about winner, but I think he has the tools to do really well.
Yeah, the only reason the dad thing concerns me in this season is just because it's such a young cast.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like 38 and he's like what, the third oldest or second oldest or something. Yep. So yeah, you always run that danger when you're an outlier like that. It might not even be fair. It's just like, okay, you happen to be on the one end of the extreme, you know?
Yeah.
And age is like the biggest one, it seems like.
Yeah. He needs to be a little more amiable than Joe. Okay, Joe was fun. We enjoyed Joe. But I think he needs to just be a little less abrasive and a little more chill.
Yeah, I think if he keeps his mouth shut, he might blend in. Like he might fade back because you got all these youngsters, these young whippersnappers. They're gonna cause a lot of drama. There's gonna be a lot of excitement, you know, drawing their attention elsewhere. He can kind of just lay back and be like the comforting father figure. I think that's a good spot for him. But there's a lot of talk about how he wants to play like Tony, and he's got all these.
That's a lazy comparison, I feel. Oh, they got like, you know, Northeastern accents. They're older. Bam, Tony.
Yeah, but I thought that's like he was making that comparison for himself. I thought.
Did he?
I thought he's saying.
Well, when he wrote down his favorite player, he wrote John Cochran. So.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, he said something about how he loves his social intelligence or something like that.
Well, the first line in Hollywood Reporter is the 38-year-old construction worker from Long Island plans to play like the legendary Tony Vlachos.
He said like Tony, but without the chaos, which is not Tony.
He said, yeah, like Tony without the neuroticism.
Yeah. But you can't take the neuroticism away from Tony and still be Tony. Exactly.
What is Tony without?
I don't know. It's something else. Just play like you. Take things from people. But I mean, that's the thing journalists do, you know. Oh, Tony's the most, you know, dynamic player we've had in the last 5 years or so. And so everyone's, I mean, if people can bring him up, they're going to bring him up.
Right. I mean, I heard other cast members compare him to Tony, and that is a concern because
everybody brings up game changers in this cast. Like 95% of this cast compared themselves to a person who was on Game Changers. And I was like, you're super fans. There's other seasons.
It's just you can't help but like refer to the most recent season.
I know, like, but try.
All my references this season of podcasting will likely be about healers, hustlers, because
you're still mad.
Well, it's just freshest in mind. You know, it's the last one we saw. So I think that's what's going on here. But anyways, I worry that people already see him that way, and they'll already have this idea in their head that he's like crazy Tony guy.
Yeah, but I also
if he comes out the gate like looking for idols and stuff, man, he's in trouble.
I don't think he's going to do that. I think that one thing that you know, what was I going to say? I don't know. That Tony had a fun side that people don't remember because of all the other craziness. And if Dominic can just be the fun guy, you know, people will forget about or maybe not notice how good he is.
You mean like a mushroom?
What?
The fun guy?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Hey.
Tony and Dominic are fun guy.
I'm very sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the one thing that bodes well for him is he is also featured very heavily in the previews. So I think that bodes well for him being a big character on the season. So
yeah, I think he will be.
We'll see. Okay, moving on.
Sure.
Kelan Bechtold.
Yep. She's on the season.
She's a lady.
She's a lady. Everybody's super high on this girl.
I can see it. I get it.
I don't know. She's
just inoffensive and I don't know. I think you could go completely off of Josh Wigler's interviews and what other people are saying about each other.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all you take into it, it's like, yeah, Kelan is the obvious winner because everybody like feels good about her.
Mm-hmm.
So if first impressions really do stick that hard, it's going to take her far.
Yep. You know, I don't know if it's the cynic in me. I'm with Nicole Sesternino on this one, and that much smiliness and bubbliness irks me, and maybe that's why I'm not as high on all. Because I was like, "Girl, stop, just stop." But I mean, if that's who she is, she can't stop. If she's just that super nice and happy, that's great. I just can't relate to it. But it'll probably take her far.
Oh, I totally agree. Like that's not my cup of tea. Yeah.
It might rub people the wrong way, is what I'm saying. Like, people aren't going to be like that all the time.
But here's what's interesting about her though. Like this character type that would be really annoying is typically like a mom.
Yeah.
And she is not. She's single. She's divorced. Like she's not a soccer mom. People are going to think she's a soccer mom, but she's not. So I don't know. I think that makes her like a little bit unique and different. Like it's going to take people back off guard. They're like, what? You're not a soccer mom?
She'll be like motherly to the tribe, or like,
yeah, I think that's what they're expecting. They're expecting her to be like that, but she's more like the person that was like, I made a mistake. I'm ending this marriage. Like, yeah, and I'm going to be on my own.
She's pretty, if she can like have that smile on her face and just cut people the way she cut her husband, then damn, maybe she's going to be a really awesome player.
Yeah. But you know, I just realized I'm making an assumption here. I'm making an assumption that she's the one who ended the marriage.
Right. I was joking. I mean, we don't know. It's not our business to know, but in my head, that's what happened.
Right. Yeah. No. And that's an important point to make here, I think, is like, we're all assuming like, oh, she cut that bastard loose. What, for all we know, like she's crazy and he broke it off with her. Like,
didn't she say that? What, didn't she say something like she just No, she didn't specify, did she? She just said it wasn't working, I guess. I don't know what she said.
Yeah, and like, you know, I totally agree with you. None of our business, whatever. I'm just saying, like, let's be careful about assumptions, right?
True.
You know?
Yeah, like there could be many reasons why
She
that
might be
marriage ended so abruptly.
She might be psycho. That might be a psycho smile on her face.
Maybe. You know, in which case that'd be really fun to watch, as long as she
Yeah.
doesn't like murder people, you know?
Yeah, I hope she is psycho. That'd make for a very interesting character.
Yeah. I mean, she's really, you know, that kind of self-awareness where you're like, and I think I'm like this way. You're so self-aware that you say things to cut people off from thinking something before they even say it or think it. You know what I mean? You know
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's almost like where you make fun of yourself before someone else can. That sort of thing. Yeah.
But like you say something where you think you're bragging, so you quickly say, not that I'm like, you know, good at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't own your positive qualities because yeah, you don't want to come
off as bragging, even if maybe in your head you do think you're good at this. You have to put that qualifier out there that, oh, I'm not boasting or anything. Don't think that. I know that I'm not that great.
Yeah, she might have that a little bit.
She does have that.
Yeah. I'm just noticing here her like description section in this article thing. It's like way shorter than everyone else's. Yeah, there's not much there.
Interesting.
Her superpower is empathy.
Yeah, everybody has like a tagline.
Do you buy this?
That's definitely hers.
Do you buy this?
You know, people that are self-aware are typically pretty empathetic as well. But you know, I mean, she has to have a tagline. Everybody does, I guess, and that's hers.
Do you think empathy is useful in Survivor anymore?
Empathy. Yes, because if you can see what a person is feeling, you know how to ease their suffering or their worries or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Make them comfortable. And then kill them in the game.
Yeah, kill them in the game.
Metaphorically. Sorry, I don't know why I said kill, because I was still on the psycho thing.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Morgan Rick.
Morgan.
She's the 29-year-old marine animal trainer from Florida.
Yep.
Apparently she got cast at the same spot as Chris Noble. Sebastian.
Yeah.
Shit, never mind. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, she and Sebastian both got cast by going to the open casting call at Cape Canaveral or whatever it is.
Right. So then it was, I want to say it was Chris and Gonzalez then that had sort of a connection with their casting or something.
Oh, I don't know about the casting.
Or they're from the same town or something like that.
No idea.
Something. Anyways, we're talking about Morgan here.
Yep.
I feel nothing about her.
She could be another sleeper. I think she's athletic. She's fun. She seems kind of smart. Like, she'll get along with people. So I don't see any reason why they would get rid of her unless she sucks at a challenge, screws up a puzzle, and they need any excuse to vote someone out. But over someone like Chris Noble, I don't know why they would get rid of her.
Unless she's a total dork or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. She just seems like the kind of person who will just gel with everyone.
Yeah, animal lovers can go either way. They can be like super nerdy types and total dorks, or they can be like chill bras.
I think she'll be chill.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel kind of chauvinist because there's always like 3 women each season where I'm like, I just like all the guys. I got something to say about them, but there's always like 3 women. I'm like,
well, I don't know why they tend to cast a lot of like inoffensive women. You know what I mean? Like,
it's almost like attractiveness. It really is just more important.
Yeah, when they're casting women, I think maybe more so than the men, they put attractiveness higher.
They're not looking to cast women characters as much. They'll put one woman character in there, then the rest are like good looking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't. It's possible. I think there are some good qualities here. They just might not be the most exciting. But that's why you have to kind of wait to watch the show because you get surprises like Lauren. We were way off base with Lauren last season, and
But
look what we
she
got.
does seem like more of the type, though, that you're casting more on character than
Lauren, yeah, you're right.
looks. Yeah.
Who's someone comparable? I mean,
Who's
Ashley kind of turned out to be a little more interesting than we thought.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
No, and maybe this isn't the best. I think you're going to see better examples as we go down the line here, but
Mhm.
yeah, because Morgan is relatively interesting with her SeaWorld thing, but
Mhm.
I guess maybe that's it.
Yeah.
SeaWorld.
She's nice. I mean, and
Nice, she's
everybody talked
nice.
about her shoulders. I bet there were no like interesting tidbits like about Chelsea was reading Game of Thrones. She has these interesting jobs. I guess Morgan's job is interesting too, but
What's so great about Morgan's shoulders? I'm looking at a picture right now.
I don't
I don't
know.
see
But
it. I
everybody
don't
was
see it.
talking about it for some reason.
Yeah, and she's getting a lot of Kim comparisons. Kim
Yeah,
comparisons.
that's a good one.
Hey,
That
zing.
again to me, that's like really lazy because they have a similar body type. Like, is that it? Like they look kind of the
And the
same,
side pony.
and she's nice. Like, what
Tall,
else is Kim
skinny,
about her?
side pony, nice girl. Kim.
Kim, she's Kim,
Yeah.
definitely Kim.
Now she's
No,
gonna win. Yep.
the end.
The end. Who picked Morgan again? I thought someone picked Morgan as their winner pick.
I've only heard two winner picks, and it was not Morgan.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind. Um. Anything else to say on her?
No,
Okay. Sebastian Noel.
Noel.
Sebastian Noel.
Yeah, yeah. I want to know what you think first.
I think he's kind of a tool. I don't know.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, he's a hippie.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be a huge stoner. His inspiration is Bob Marley.
Oh,
Big surfer guy, right? Fishing guide.
he's a
Okay, yeah.
fisherman.
Yeah. A lot of pressure to be the next Ozzy.
Yeah, he mentioned four guys. He said Ozzy, Joe, Rupert, and Jay.
Okay, yeah. Does he know how well they did?
That's a fair point. Jay probably did well. Rupert did well a couple times, I guess.
Jay had a real shot. Yeah, Rupert had a real shot too. He did.
Yeah.
Rupert would have won if he just could have gotten a little farther.
Yeah.
And both All Stars and well, pretty much every season he was in except
Bloodwater.
Bloodwater. Yeah, Rupert had a real shot.
Rupert was a chance.
Anyway, Sebastian though, I think he's kind of weird, and I don't know, like he's got that like he's gotten compared to Vince Sly, and I
I
think
don't get the Vince vibe
he
from
has that
him.
potential. I think he does, but at the same time, he has the potential, yeah, to be really likable because he does seem like so laid back,
Yeah, I think he's going to be more likable and more calm. And he knows that he needs to be like the quiet provider. When I went into his interview, I was like, I don't want to like this guy. I don't want to like him because he just looks like a tool bag. But, listening to him talk, he just seemed cool and calm and kind of funny. And he's a fan. He's watched all his life. So it's like, how can you hate on that, But I don't know. If he's giving them fish, I mean, why the hell would they get him out?
Dude, he looks like Dave Franco.
He does. He has a weird face,
Yeah,
right? Like he has a
he's
small.
got a Dave
He's
Franco
tall.
face.
He's super tall, but he's got like a squat, like small face.
He's got like a lemon or like a lemon head, like
a lemon head.
like Hey Arnold, like football head.
Yeah, he's just got an odd shaped head. He's a handsome man, but when you first see him, you think he's small. But then when you see a picture of the cast together, you're like, what the hell? He's like super tall. It's very confusing.
Yeah, he does look wee.
Yeah,
but he's tall.
He's tall.
Interesting. I wonder if it's like his build, Like he's
Yeah.
skinny. When you're skinny, you could take
I
a
think,
picture and you're like, oh, that guy's small.
yeah.
But he's
He's
actually really
probably
tall.
he's probably pretty lanky. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think he might.
So we got a lot to say about his appearance.
Well, we said other stuff first.
That's true. Yeah.
And to be fair, I don't want to lump him in with Joe because I hate Joe. And he just all he said about him was that his grandma thinks he looks like him, like Joe.
He does kind of look like Joe too. Cross between Joe and Dave Franco.
And Hey Arnold.
And
Arnold.
Hey Arnold. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think, but you know, he's gonna play the same way that Jay and Ozzy and because I didn't hear much to convince me that he's super strategic in his interviews. So he's gonna be likable. I think he might be like a Ken. Doesn't really know what he's doing, but
yeah,
he
does
like
have
him.
Yeah, he does have a strategy. It's just not that complicated. It's basically like, I'm going to shut up and catch fish.
Yeah.
So if he actually does that, I think that will serve him well. It'll take him far into the game. Here's the thing though, like there's a lot of athletic people on this cast. So you're going to have a cast full of people who are potential individual immunity threats. So if he gets far into the game, he's going to be surrounded by other people like that. So I guess I do kind of like his chances in that sense. I do see the potential for him to be a weirdo and get voted off, but I think he's got a much better chance of laying low and going deep. So
Vince Sly was not catching people fish. And Vince Sly is a creeper of the highest order. Like, we can't forget that.
Yeah.
Like,
who was he in love with? It was like
Jen,
who was like a total.
And he was super jealous of Joe. He was like, are you into me? Are you into Joe? It was so weird. And it was like day 4 or something.
Yeah, like he was in love with her.
He
was freaking in love with her, which is very strange.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you could fall in love on Survivor. That's weird.
Well, yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Rob and Amber, no one will ever be like them, though.
Taylor and Figgy.
Yeah, Taylor's married to somebody else now.
Oh, okay.
With a child.
All right, ready to move on?
Let's move on. Is that it for that tribe?
Nope, still got Wendell.
Oh, Wendell's on that tribe. I didn't know that.
Yep, now VT.
Wendell.
What,
is his last name Holmes? Why do I want to say Wendell Holmes?
It's Holland. Wendell Holland.
Who's Wendell Holmes?
That's Gordon Holmes's long lost cousin.
Okay. Got it. Wendell's got it all. I mean, he just has to screw it up somehow, or else people see him as a threat.
Well, here's what I wonder. Like, Probst, somebody had to go to bat for him. I think it was Probst went to bat against.
Yeah, somebody did. Like, one person didn't want him on the show.
I don't even think it was one. I thought it was like Probst went to bat against a couple producers or something.
Why wouldn't she want one on the show? Were they racist?
I don't think that's it. I mean, this is exactly what really makes me curious. Is like, what is it about him where they were insistent like he doesn't have what it takes to be on Survivor? Where they
to me, he's a slam dunk.
There's got to be something about him, you know. That's what I'm trying to figure out, and I bet it'll come out. That could be part of it. I don't know. I will not deny that.
They were like, oh, we got one Asian guy. That's it. We don't need any more people of color on this cast.
Dude, totally possible. But yeah, I'm curious what it might be. Like,
I did
maybe
notice that as well.
Maybe he's just too normal. Like maybe he's just a normal guy. Granted, those types of guys probably stand to do pretty well in the game.
Dude, he's not normal. Did you hear what he was talking about? What he did to like get his girlfriend a birthday present or whatever? Was that him?
Don't remember. What did he do?
God, it seems like so long ago that I listened to that, but he was like the first person on First One Out.
Yeah.
Oh man, am I making this up? Am I imagining?
Well, what did he do?
Well, he was gonna be gone for like her birthday or an anniversary or something, and he like filmed a video of him like pretending he was on the island and in Survivor, like around like foliage and all this stuff, saying, "Oh, I'm out here and I just want to wish you happy birthday." And then his friend is gonna give her the video and then a present. I might have dreamt that. I don't remember. I think that's real.
It's could be. I just don't remember lots of things. And I also, when I listened to First One Out, it was background, total
Yeah.
background. I
Yeah.
think I even listened to it at work sometimes.
I
So
think I was driving and listening, and sometimes I space out, which I shouldn't, but sometimes I space out. But I feel like he did that to his girlfriend.
okay, well that's nice.
Elaborate.
But what? So everyone's like picking him as the winner pick, and
Yeah,
like,
so he's doomed, pretty much.
yeah, why? Why are they picking him as the winner pick?
Um, because he's nice, he's smart, he's gonna get along socially with everybody, he's athletic, he plays basketball like 5 times a week. He went to Harvard Law School, but he's not gonna tell people that. He's got kind of a story like about his dad being this big shot lawyer, but he didn't want to do that, so he had to disappoint his dad. Yeah, he's got it all going on.
Okay, what's his level of fandom?
I don't remember.
Yeah, me neither. Um,
I think he is a fan. I don't know if I want to say super fan.
I've been a big fan for a while, and I've always wanted to push myself to the limits and see if I can really survive. Oh yeah, I'm playing for the $1,000,000 too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why everyone's picking him. He just seems like your cardboard survivor guy.
Right. Yeah. So remember when I said like he was my winner pick based on this was before you told me that everyone else was picking him too. But so when we did our final podcast of last season,
Yeah.
and we got to see the preview, I was like, that guy's gonna win. And I was talking about Wendell. I said the guy with the afro, and you thought I was talking about Jacob because
Yeah. He has an afro.
Jacob has a much more prominent afro, but I
Yeah.
hadn't seen Jacob yet.
Okay.
Or I hadn't noticed him yet.
Mhm.
I was talking about Wendell when I
Okay.
said that. So
Well, maybe it's just it. First impression, bam, that's it. It's done. Maybe people will think the same thing.
Yeah, it was based completely on one shot they showed of him like cheering. Maybe that's all it is. Like subconsciously, you see someone like excited and happy or like pumped up, and you're like, "Oh, that guy's gonna win."
Yeah, last time there was this unanimous of a winner pick, though, it was Malcolm.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. And another thing about Malcolm I wanted to mention as an interesting comparison. I think I've probably said this before on the podcast, but in Philippines, I picked Malcolm out of just looking at the cast photo, just looking at it. I was like, Malcolm, I didn't know his name. I was like, that guy, he's gonna win.
Yeah.
I was wrong, but I was right that
he was one of the biggest breakout characters or survivor of that era and still remains. People like how many of these players said Malcolm is my favorite player? I counted at least 3.
Right. And he was like one challenge away from winning too.
Right.
And but another example, last season I said Alan Ball, Jessica, and Desi, just looking at the picture, one of those 3 would win.
It's Alan Ball. Oh, Alan Ball. I already forgot.
Yeah. Well, totally understandable.
Yeah.
Those 3 I picked out and said, just looking at the picture, they're going to win. So obviously the system is very flawed.
Yeah. Well, it's going with your gut. Sometimes your gut is right, and sometimes your gut is just doesn't know what to do. So
I'll tell you something right now.
Let me hear it.
I'm not going to pick Wendell because I don't want to pick the guy that everybody else is picking. And also I'm going to ignore that whole like
gut thing.
Oh, I saw him in the preview and I thought it was him. I thought he would win.
That's what I did with Game Changers. I like was convinced in my head. I was like, Malcolm's winning. I know it. I have no doubt in my mind.
He's featured heavily.
Yeah.
And then Sarah Lacino wins. So
right. Well, to be fair, I did pick her to win a different season. So
yeah, right on. Okay. Anyways, Wendell. Yeah, I think the most interesting thing about him is, he chose different life, career-wise. And where he's at right now, he decided, I really like making furniture. I'm going to see if I can do this and make a career out of it. And it sounds like he's able to do that right now. So that's pretty cool. It's inspiring. I think the kids will like it. And I think that's the most interesting thing about him. I think you're right. He's got all the right components to be a Survivor winner, but I can't help but wonder what it is about this guy. They were like, I don't want to cast him. What is it? What were they not seeing? What were they seeing or not?
White skin.
Yes, Jesus. Maybe. I don't know.
Just kidding.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Any other thoughts on him?
No, I think he's probably going to go pretty far. Merge
That's
at least.
that's the Navidi tribe. Moving on.
That's it.
Malolo.
That's fun to say.
Malolo. Brendan Shapiro.
Oh, yep. Yep. Nothing bad to say about this guy.
This guy's great. I mean,
this guy might be winner pick.
Well, someone did pick him, didn't they?
Who are all these people that you're hearing winner picks from?
I don't know.
You said you've heard like 8 picks, and I'm just wondering where you heard them.
Maybe like 4 or 5 now.
From who though? It doesn't sound like you've listened to anything. Like, I mean, whatever. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I honestly can't remember where I've been reading or hearing these picks, but okay. You know what it might be? It might be like Rob and Nicole had like side picks.
Did they?
Yeah. Well, they were sort of saying, okay, I'm looking at these 3, and I'll go with this one.
Sure.
So I think I'm thinking of those other picks as well.
Yeah.
And Brendan, I thought he was one of Rob or Nicole's picks, wasn't he?
No.
Oh yeah, she ultimately went with Dominique. And I think Rob was looking at Brendan and Kelan.
That might be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah,
Brendan.
I mean, everything that came out of his mouth, I was like, yep, good, yep. And he's a super fan. He's like it seems like extreme fan. He's been watching with his kid since his kid was alive. Like, and he was almost on one of the earliest seasons. Like, it's such a good story. I hate to say that because I'm worrying they're going to Jimmy with it so that he wins. And I don't want that to happen again. But I just think that he, just like Wendell, except perhaps more so, he's got all the components. And it's just up to him to screw it up. So I don't think he will.
Why did it take him so long to get on the show then? Why is now the right time? I don't understand that.
I don't know. The only thing I worry about is that he might have some of that savage doucheness, but I didn't get that from him. He seems a lot more self-aware than that. I don't know. Do you see that?
Just just looking at him, I think that's where you wonder that.
Maybe.
Or where you make
just
that comparison.
First glance.
Just
and
first glance. Yeah. But yeah, based on what he said, I didn't get the impression that did he mention anything about like valuing honor and integrity and all that shit?
No, okay. That's what people think about him. Everyone was like, yep, that guy's going to be all about playing it straight. But then when he talked to him, he was like, I don't know, I'm a fan. I know how this works and I'm going to do what it takes.
Yeah. So if he can stick to that, is there something to that stereotype that he looks like? Like, that's the question.
Yeah.
Like, does he actually have this instinct to be the nice gym teacher guy? Like, because you're always going to fall back on your instincts. You can say like, I'm going to play this way. And that's not totally true either. Like, people can overcome their instincts, I think, somewhat in the game of Survivor, especially as a super fan, because because you placed this, this idea of how you should play the game. You placed it so high in your head, it's gonna pop into your mind when you start falling back on those nice guy instincts. Not that being a nice guy is inherently bad, and that we've seen lately how being a backstabbing, lying person actually hurts your game because of bitter juries,
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why we value backstabbing and lying so much, but
it's starting to become apparent that you have to have a mix of skills, a very specific set of skills that not many people have. But I do think this guy has the potential to have them. Like, Andrew Savage was like a smarmy rich lawyer, okay, and this guy's a gym teacher, so I don't think they're the same guy.
No, not at all. Yeah, what else do you like about him?
He seems like plugged in. Like, he really seems to save. I don't know. I don't remember. Like I said, it was a while ago when I listened to this one, but he always said the right thing. And I was like, don't say something douchey. And then he would just say like what he needed to say to make me like him. And he's observant. He had good reads on people, really good reads on people. And I don't know, I just didn't find anything not to like.
Yeah, and he's totally jacked as well.
He is super jacked, yeah. Like, I was surprised when I looked at a picture of him because he's got kind of like an inoffensive, like nice guy voice, and then you look at him and you're like, what the hell?
He's really jacked, yeah. Yeah, I like his chances.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, let's move on. Jonathan Hurley.
Oh, love him. Love him. I want to protect him. I don't want anyone to hurt him. I want him to be safe and be happy and just do a good job.
Do a good job.
His accent is unreal.
Is that what anybody really wants, is to be like, oh, you're so cute, I just want to protect you?
But that's what I want to do with him.
See? Nobody wants this.
Well, if they want to protect you, that means you're going to be safe. So what's wrong with that?
That's true. I mean, if he's able to draw the same instincts out of other people to protect him, then that'll take him far. Is he likable enough to have people give him $1 million at the end too?
Yes, absolutely.
So do you think he could get to the end being guarded and protected by people who think he's precious and want to protect him?
If he owns that as the strategy, I don't think that is his strategy. I don't really know what his strategy is.
Well, yeah, let's say he got to the end that way. Would people vote for that?
Yes, because his story, I can't even deal with it. Like, and he says everything with such a smile. He's like, yeah, I came out when I was 13 and I was bullied, and he laughs about it. And I'm like, that sucks for you. And like, he talks about how poor he is and he's raised by his mom and his grandma. And but he says it all with a smile and he's just so happy. And I'm like, we could all be a little bit more like this guy. And I want him to go far and do well. That's all.
Yeah, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Why?
I don't know. I worry about him in like the early game.
Oh, don't say that.
He doesn't look like he's in good shape.
He's a dancer.
Is he? Okay, so
Yeah.
like he just has that look where he's like,
he's slender,
Yeah, he doesn't.
There's so many jacked guys on this season. It's hard to look like you're in shape next to them, but then again, you're not threatening. So if he can make it through the early part of the game and not like screw up things for his tribe, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, you might be right about that. It's just such an athletic and jacked cast. Just by comparison, he looks out of shape, but he's totally not. Like, I'm out of shape. He's not out of shape. But like, we will see, I guess. Maybe I'm onto something. Maybe he isn't in the best of shape, and maybe he will struggle in the challenge.
He said he goes up into the mountains, and he has kept saying this hobby that he has, but I couldn't quite pick out what he was saying. Something about like picking out rocks and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like foraging, but with rocks, I think.
What's it called?
I forgot what it was.
I like the way he said it anyway.
Maybe it says it in here.
But somewhere. I mean, he lives he's from East Kentucky. So I mean, and he said, I just think he'll be fine. He's not going to expect to be pampered or anything like that. Like he'll be okay.
So what's his story? He takes care of his mom or something, or what?
I think he takes care of his grandma. I don't know about his mom, but maybe both of them. I don't know.
Oh, he takes care of his grandma.
I think so.
She had an aneurysm.
Yeah, something like that.
So now he takes care. Okay. And something about an alcoholic husband. Must be his dad or something.
I think he said his dad was never in his life. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of his story then, as he comes from a broken home and he came out as gay when he was like 13.
13 in East Kentucky.
In the deep South, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it really is a compelling story. It really makes him someone to root for.
That's what I mean. I want him to stay on the show long enough to like get the character moments from him, because he's one of the few people I'm super just interested in, like seeing how he does and hearing about his life.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I am concerned that this is someone who has mad potential for that. Mm-hmm. But like, to keep the game of Survivor pure, which hopefully they do. We questioned that a lot at the end of last season. But if they keep the game pure and he does turn out to be like weak in challenges, like that's where he could be in trouble early on.
Well, that's where he needs to rely on his social game and his game savvy. Look at Ryan from last season. The guy was terrible in challenges, and he made it to the final 3. He was on a 6-person tribe, and they still didn't vote him out, because he had connections. And I think he's going to connect with the girls pretty easily.
Why? Because he's gay?
Because he said that. And it's just how it works.
Just kidding, yeah.
But...
yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see him. I'm with you. Like, I think there's so much potential here for a good, heartwarming story that it would be nice to see him go a little, at least halfway through the game or something.
Yeah, I just want to get those confessionals.
But this type of guy doesn't get halfway through the game without getting all the way through the game. He's either out first or he's.
If you're not first, you're.
If you're not first, you're last. That sort of thing.
Yeah, I could see a Ryan trajectory for him, except likable. Oh, I liked Ryan, but a lot of people didn't. I
don't know what happened to Ryan. Everyone loved Ryan so much up until I don't know when things turned for people.
When he teamed up with Chrissy.
Yeah, and I don't know why people hate Chrissy so much either. I just don't get it.
Well, I had my share of opinions about Chrissy.
I think Survivor fans are impossible to please.
Oh, it's ridiculous. We're a ridiculous bunch. It's bad.
It's like
Big Brother fans are worse. But
you have some idea at the beginning of the season what you want to happen, and then that does happen and you're upset because
it's just what the people do. Like, I was a Ben fan at the beginning of the show, and then we know how that
all the people that we predicted would do well and wanted to do well in that season
did well, and we didn't like it.
And we weren't happy by the end because our minds had changed halfway through.
I mean, but we didn't know these people at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you think
you get to know them, and then if they do something that angers you, then that changes how you feel about them.
And then you have game changers where like the opposite of what you wanted to happen happened, and you hate that season. So there's no pleasing Survivor fans.
There's not.
That's what I'm saying about like
millennials versus Gen X.
We have to try to have fun this season, regardless. We have to try to find the silver lining.
Yes, I agree, but I'm just saying that what happened at the end of last season was unanimously bad, like seen as bad.
Even if it wasn't, you're right. Like, I appreciate your honesty, and I want your honest opinion. So
okay,
I value that. I value that more than anything else.
Okay. Well, we'll move on. We'll try not to bring it up this season. Let's try to move on. It's going to come up with the fire making element, but that'll be towards the end of the season.
Right. Or every time someone goes to Ghost Island.
Yeah. In that case, we're going to talk about it every week. So buckle in.
All right. Can we move on from Donovan?
Yes, except I just had an idea.
Okay.
That I want to get out there. That maybe that fire making thing at Ghost Island is like to prepare people to make fire for that end game situation because they know it was the way it went the first time was not good.
Oh,
they're like trying to
that's a curse in itself.
Like they need to be able to make fire under pressure situations, and it'll help them.
So people who have been to Ghost Island sort of have an advantage in the final 4 or 3 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Final 4, yeah. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Jacob Derwin.
Oh, there he is. The man, the myth, the legend.
The man, the myth, the legend, Bob Ross.
He does. I was thinking Seth Rogen, but...
Seth Rogen, Bob Ross.
Seth Ross, Bob Rogen.
Yeah, man, he's young. He's only 22.
I know, he doesn't look it.
And he was blogging... He was doing that blog that you were looking at.
Dude, I read his articles all the time to help make my predictions for Fantasy Survivor.
Right. And yeah, he was really young when he was writing that shit, man.
Jeez, yeah, but he's, as you would imagine, he's been a fan since he was like 6 or whatever. So
right, he dissected the show, so he was definitely, regardless of how young he was definitely someone who knew what they were talking about when it came to Survivor and making predictions and whatnot.
I like him. I don't know why
I like him.
Sorry. I like him. He seems fun. He seems funny. He has that Kelan thing where he's like hyper self-aware. But that's good for the most part. So, and everybody seems to love him just by looking at him because he's non-threatening, he's just kind of goofy looking. He's not jacked like all the other guys. And he knows a lot about Survivor.
Right.
Do you think he'll tell people that?
Tell people what?
About his blogging and like how much he knows about the game?
I feel like he's the type of guy that's smart enough to keep that shit under wraps.
Okay.
Because like even if you start to get a sense that, wow, like all these people are huge Survivor fans, like I don't need to hide it. I feel like it's still in your best interest to hide it at least a little bit. Yeah. Don't you think? Like at least sort of.
Well, maybe don't say I blogged for a big Survivor site. Like he can talk. Don't be like, oh, the boot order of season 7 is this. Just play it more calm.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you really it would be in your best interest to do so, I think.
Yeah.
I worry about Jacob for the reason that he is kind of a nerd, like in the sense that like he talked a lot about how he was bullied as a kid, He
and Donathan
and supposedly, he views that as a strength, which is great. Like he's like, I had to learn how to fit in with people. And so I have that skill now. I have that skill to put people at ease. But so his background as like the nerd that got bullied. And then on top of that, the way he spent his time for most of his life by himself in a room playing games, as he said, whether it was like a video game or he's been the loner type his whole life.
And he said he moved to like far away to go to college just because he wanted to be like a different person.
Right. And maybe that experience has helped him.
It sounds like it has.
But I do think this is going to be like socially, it's going to be on the game on 2 different levels is going to kick his ass. Socially, it's going to kick his ass, and the outdoor shit is going to kick his ass. So I'll be super happy to see him just dominate those aspects, and for me to be totally wrong, but I think he's going to have a tough time with it.
Okay.
But he's got everything else going for him, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on what he has going for him?
Well, if being social isn't something that comes natural to him, maybe it won't be as good as I thought it was going to be, but it seems that he was pretty at ease in the interviews, and he was pretty gregarious and funny. And so I think he'll get along with most people.
Yeah, I think he's likable and all that. I guess the social aspect I'm worried about is like, you can't really get away in those situations or when you're on Survivor, you're always on camera and you're always with these people. I wonder how that's going to be for him, Yeah,
he's not going to have any kind of escape or outlet. He's also a musician, and that obviously won't be an option. But yeah, it's going to depend heavily on if he can make those social bonds or not. And naturally, easily, like without having to force them. I know there's a little bit of forcing that comes into play in this because, you can't always react the way you want to react in a normal social situation. But yeah, it depends on the relationships he makes, I think. And if he can, deal with the weather and the outdoors and stuff.
Do you think Donathan and Jacob will naturally gravitate to each other?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. Being bullied is a super, I would think, like
not that you were ever bullied.
I wasn't ever bullied, not that I remember. Not to the point where I felt traumatized by it or anything. So that's why I have such respect for these guys, like Donathan just being able to laugh it off, and like Jacob, taking it and trying to like become a different person because of what he went through, or become a better version of himself. I mean, not become a different person, but
find some kind of success.
Yeah.
Despite
and
all
having
that.
The bravery to go to college somewhere where you don't know anybody, because that's what you need to do to grow. Like he put in the work, and Donathan, maybe it's just a little easy. He's just more of a positive, happy person that it's just easy to laugh it off. And and maybe Jacob will learn from Donathan and vice versa. I hope that they connect.
Yeah, I just wonder if they do end up teaming up, if it's going to be like so obvious that they're like, look at those two, the nerds, like they have an alliance, obviously. So
yeah,
they're a pair. Better
maybe
break
it's not
that
a
up.
good idea.
Better break that up. And also kind of need to move this along, but it would be fun to think like which one of these people, which one of these other tribe mates might fit into their little nerd alliance.
I think you'd need a female in there.
Maybe a Laurel.
Yeah, that could work.
Perhaps a Laurel and perhaps a James, even the robot guy.
The robot.
Yeah.
Your microphone is making some sort of distorted noise, or maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I can't hear my mic, so is it fine now? Is it better now?
No, it's not fine.
It's not?
Not for me.
Well, then it's probably not for anybody. I don't know what would cause that. Let me try. Still?
Yep. Maybe it's a little better now.
Hey, up, test, up.
I mean, it just sounds really bad in my ear, but it could be on my end, so I don't know. I can try to get through it.
No, I really don't think it's on your end. I think it would be on everybody's. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what it could be. Could try something quick.
I don't know why it would just suddenly.
Is my video bad too?
No, it's fine.
Okay, then it shouldn't be a network thing. It's got to be the mic itself.
You could just go out to regular computer mic.
Yeah, let's try.
Hello?
Does that sound any better?
Yeah, it sounds normal now.
Okay. I just did the old reset of everything.
Well, it works. We can get through it, hopefully.
Yeah, sorry for the downtime. We'll just keep rolling here.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So James the robot is next on the list.
I like James.
Yeah, he's all right.
I mean, he was one of the first people I saw, and I was like, oh, I like him. And anybody who likes Yule is like good in my book, but I can see he's got the same thing that Bradley and Jacob had. Like, they know that socially, I mean, his isn't the same. Like, what did people say? Socially, he was kind of like boring or something. And
well, it's just that he's robotic in everything he does. He's like super good at everything he does. He's his IQ is off the charts. Like, he succeeds in everything he does because he like has this like knows not only is he super intelligent, but he has that work ethic where he'll like bust his ass at anything to be good at anything. And so like I feel like he's a methodic, he's all about systems, you know. I have a system for that.
You know,
You know?
a lot of people compare Yule to Mr. Spock, and we still consider him one of the best winners ever. So, you know, maybe James is a little bit like that. And
Yeah, there's no reason you can't win being like
yeah,
that.
right.
Yeah, I mean,
So
that story that Probst tells is hilarious, I think, about how
sure.
James he gives some indication to James that he's not great
Oh, right.
socially, and James is immediately like, oh, I will work on that.
And he does.
And then he goes and reads books and like how to win friends and influence people. He goes about learning how to be social probably in the most logical way possible, like reading books and stuff. And yeah, we'll see if that pays off. I think it's difficult for people like that to learn these types of skills in that way that fast. But so
man, what a great, you know, I like the mix on this tribe. I just think you got 3 such different guys, and it's just going to be really fun to see them interact with each other.
Yeah, who are
with Donathan, Jacob, and James so far.
But then you got Brendan.
Right.
Brendan's
going to be like their dad.
Yeah, they could have a strong guys alliance if they decide to draw the lines there, but
I don't think that's gonna. I mean, Donathan won't be in for that. I don't think. Maybe he will. He'll probably be in for anything.
I have no idea how they're gonna split up.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's gonna be really fun to watch. But I like James. I mean, the only thing I can say about him is that, yeah, maybe he's not gonna pop on screen. Maybe he's gonna be a little bit robotic, but the intelligence might make up for that, you know, kind of like it did with Yule. Like, he was so smart and so strategically good that you overlooked the fact that he was kind of, I don't know, robotic or boring in some ways.
No, I totally agree. I don't mind James at all. I think he's got potential, and he's also like really athletic. I mean, the dude looks
pretty jacked. Yeah,
he looks super fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a big question mark, I guess. He could be an easy early boot because he might have that robotic, no sense of social dynamics, and people are just like, this guy's such a weirdo, and they'll just vote him out. I could totally see that happening too.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
But then this next person.
Who is it?
I really don't
We gotta have a girl at some point.
It's Jenna Bowman.
Oh, yeah.
To me, she's like the biggest dud of the cast.
Yeah, there's not much going on there.
Which kind of bums me out because, like, I base that mostly on her speaking voice.
It's pretty monotone, isn't it? Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, I don't have the most, like, exciting voice a lot of times. And is that enough to make people be like, you totally suck, you know?
Well, there's like nothing that super stands out about her. She's attractive, but not like, oh my God. She's athletic, but not like, oh my God, she's so jacked. There's no like wow factor.
Yeah, I don't see how she got cast. I don't see it. All she has, according to Jeff Probst, is this growth story of like, I want to change. I want to be a better person. Help. I need to grow.
Help.
And it's like, who isn't trying to grow and like be a different person or a better version of themselves, you know?
Yeah, there wasn't. What is her job? I don't even remember what her job is. Does she have one?
Personal claim to fame. Advertising account executive.
Yeah, exactly. No, next. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, girl.
That's girl bye. Yeah, I don't. And no one seems to have good opinions of her. This has first boot written all over it.
She's an easy first boot. Maybe they just had so many good characters they needed to nestle one easy boot in there.
Yeah, you can't have all Donathans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to cushion
have some, sounding boards in there.
Yeah. Bye, girl.
Yes, yeah.
Laurel Johnson.
She's from Minneapolis.
Yeah, love when we get a Minneapolis native on the cast. Last one that I know of was Peter, Dr. Peter.
Well, Katrina Radke was from Excelsior, Minnesota.
That's basically Minneapolis. So,
yeah, so
Minneapolis is made up of a lot of suburbs around there, and that's
did
what
you
that is,
know they have never, and I mean never, had someone from North Dakota on Survivor?
Yeah, I feel like if they ever do, it's not going. I think we've talked about this before too, but I'll say it again. I don't think it's going to be like a unique person from North Dakota. It's going to be someone who personifies the stereotype of North Dakota.
Yeah, it's going to be a fisherman, hunter,
yeah. I see a hunter dude with an accent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a bad North Dakota accent.
Or a mom, like a North Dakota mom, kind of like.
Where was Sunday from?
Sunday, yeah. Well, she's from Minnesota too.
She's from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. She was from close, but we've never had anybody from North Dakota. Right. Anyways.
Sunday almost like she must live on the border next to North Dakota.
She's got her accent is more Minnesota than North Dakota though.
Yeah, so. I guess. I can't tell the difference between the two. They sound the same to me.
North Dakota is almost more Canadian. It's like a blend between Minnesotan and Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like Laurel a lot. She's athletic. She's a super fan. She's smart. I don't see much to hate on for Laurel. What about you?
She's got a lot going for her, but I just see a lot of potential for her to get annoyed because I don't know how she's going to handle the drama. I can't see her as a person who's used to having any drama in her life. She seems like an easy
no nonsense.
Yeah, no nonsense. Yeah.
She should be on a tribe with Angela.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's not. I wouldn't be hugely concerned about it because I think if she's socially savvy that she'll be able to stifle that a little bit. She's not going to be like Michaela. I don't get Michaela vibes off of her where she just can't mask it whatsoever.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like so many people were like bringing up Michaela and I was like, God, like just like it's amazing how fast. It's amazing how fast our minds go to that. Like they're like, oh, black chick with dreadlocks. Michaela.
Yeah, when she started talking, I was like, this chick doesn't sound a thing like Michaela.
They don't seem anything alike at all.
No, they don't. Like their stories are not similar.
There's nothing about them in common other than
and that
black
they're
chicks with
tall,
dreadlocks.
Athletic black women. That's what they have in common. But they said Sebastian is Malcolm. Okay, I can think of one thing they have in common, but not much else. I mean, they're the free spirits, maybe. But was Malcolm even that much of a free spirit? I don't know.
No, I think that's a good point. It's interesting to consider that. Yeah, maybe it isn't just black people that we do that with. Like it's like any type of look. You sort of like start to think like even with like Tony and Dominic, like they still have a look about them too, where they have that like Italian thing that like that northeastern
New England type, Boston, New Jersey thing,
yeah. It's like I think it's natural, but it is always kind of weird.
It's amazing to me that people run with it instead of like hammering down and really looking at it. Is he really like Malcolm? Is she really like Michaela? Because this chick is nothing like Michaela.
No. That's I think you nailed it. People run with it. That's where the problem lies. Is they don't stop themselves early on and be like, why did I compare her to Michaela? Oh, it's because of the way they look. They actually, they don't have anything in common aside from that.
Athleticism, maybe, but that's it.
Yeah. Because she is, Laurel is really athletic. She's like a college volleyball player. She's really tall, strong.
She's got the glasses though, so people are going to know she's smart.
Yeah, she should take those off. Definitely take those off.
She probably will have to during the challenges, but other than that,
she should bring some contacts for sure.
I don't know how that would work on the island.
She had a lot of responses too that made you think like, oh, here's somebody who really enjoys the sneaky part of the show. Like she came to play and like be sneaky. Will she actually do what she says she's going to do? We'll see.
I hope so.
Sounds like she wants to do that.
Yeah. No, I like her. She's got a good shot, I think.
I'm always rooting for a Minneapolis native too.
Yep.
I mean,
do better than Katrina. Do better than Dr. Obama, please.
Right on. Any other thoughts on Laurel?
No.
All right, moving on to Libby Vinchek.
Yeah, you've got to have one of these.
Yeah, bye, girl.
You need to have one of these beautiful, tall, blonde, Christian, perfect girls. You got to have one of those. So that's her.
Yeah, I mean, the two words that come to mind: blonde, Christian. I guess I'm really putting her in a box, but
but I mean, that's what she's
all
putting out there. It's all I got too. She'll probably get along with people. And we always say before, when there's like, you know, religious people on, low, if they force it on people, but they never do. They always get along fine with everybody. So, you know, we'll see. I think whatever, she's inoffensive enough. She's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's not much to go on, and maybe it's the way they present these women to us. They don't give us all the very interesting information.
But honestly, like her video, man,
was it bad?
Sounds really dumb. Like,
what was it? What'd she do?
She just sounds dumb. I don't know what it is, man. Like her responses.
Well, she picked Parvati as her favorite. So
yeah, well, surprise.
And so did Jenna Bowman.
Big surprise there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it with Libby. Sorry.
I'm not either. It's fine. But you know, if you're inoffensive, if you perform okay in challenges, if you're not lazy around camp, yeah, that can get you far enough to a point.
Right. Next.
Okay. Who's next?
Michael Yerger.
Yeah, the 18-year-old. He does not look 18.
This guy's fascinating, man.
He is something else. I was expecting like nothing, to just be like, oh, nothing. He's nothing to me. But then he started talking. His favorite player is Denise. Like, that's amazing to me.
Oh my God. And he's 18.
Yeah. And I'm like, who are you? Are you sure you're 18?
He has like a very mature mind. Like,
yeah. And he was more mature than a lot of the other guys I heard talking. He's by far the youngest one.
Yeah. And he can express himself perfectly well too. I think he seems like a very congruent person, other than the fact that he's lying about his age. I mean, that's one of the most incongruent things about him. But then other than that, he like knows who he is and he expresses it very straightforward.
Yeah, I wonder what his background was. Like, what is the story? Because if you're already like an established realtor and you're 18, how did that even happen? You know, I'm like, I want to know how that happened.
Yeah, but and not to mention the look. Like he looks like he's like a mid-20s, like he said 23. Like that's how old he's going to say he is.
He can pull it off.
Yeah, he looks 23. He looks really good. I mean, the ladies are gonna love him. Like they're gonna absolutely love him.
Yeah, that's the other thing I'm worried about. Like, you want to be careful. I know he is 18, but that's still really young.
If he's as smart as he's saying he is, he just has to fight him off. You know? Just fight him off with a stick.
Yeah. No, getting back to this thing about the women versus the men, like every guy on this tribe, I find like there's something interesting about them. And I don't know if it's the casting or what they're not giving us, but I don't feel the same about the women. I mean, you have a few that stand out as interesting and they're going to do well and there's something unique about them. And maybe it's just this cast, but yeah, I'm not feeling a lot of those girls do go far, you know, and once the game starts, will probably be like more interesting layers to them that just doesn't immediately pop out like it does with these guys. Maybe these guys will just fall flat and be duds. That's certainly possible. But yeah, I don't know why. And I'm not the only one that feels this way, right?
I don't think so. No, I think there's something really interesting sociologically going on there that could be examined by people smarter than us. Like why it seems like, because I feel like at the beginning of a lot of seasons we're always like, the women, you know, not too many interesting women. What's going on with casting? And then like you said, as they go farther to the game and they sort of open up their characters, develop, you see more there and you see these levels. Yeah. And then the guys are always, like you can see it on the surface, and then that's it. That's all there is.
True. That's true. Maybe that's just men and women, and
it might, yeah, there might be something deeper going on there.
I think you're right. I think there is.
Yeah.
I really don't want to see again, though. Like we've had a lot of recent seasons, like Millennials, Gen X, and then last season, where the women just get picked off and picked off and picked off, and you're left with mostly dudes. Like, it'd be nice to have a healthier mix this time around. I guess Game Changers, we had a good mix, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, schmeh. Yeah, I like Michael, man.
Yeah, he's a lot. When I saw this, like, handsome 18-year-old, I was like, what the hell? And I still felt that way. And he was I think he was the last person in First One Out. And I was like, oh, I might have been wrong about this one.
Yeah, I'm considering him for winner pick.
Okay.
Possibly.
I understand why. I think, by the way, I think we should pick one guy and one girl each as a winner pick.
Yeah, there's just so many different ways this could go.
Like, I know. Yeah. We're going to be wrong either way. Even doubling our chances, we're going to be wrong. So
with the picks, like as pointless as they are, I'm always so fearful of picking the guy, like the first one out or something.
I don't think we've ever managed to do that.
For the most part, I think we do pretty well. We do average, I think, most of the time.
Yeah, mine always get like merge.
I feel like the worst we ever did was Co-Wrong.
Co-Wrong was bad.
Okay, so next on the list is Stephanie Gonzalez. We're just gonna call her Gonzalez for the sake of there's two.
Right. Okay, this girl's got personality, so I appreciate that. First off.
Right. But I remember being impressed with her, but I don't remember why.
Oh, Rob is like in love with her, and I honestly, I mean, I don't see it. What do you see that is impressive?
What's her like story? I don't remember anything about her. Is she like sassy or something?
She's a little bit sassy, it seems. Did you know that every guy at Ponderosa is flirting with her? Because that's according to her, that's what's happening.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's like, oh, he flirt like every guy's name. Yeah. that
he
Josh
was being
brings
kind
up.
of flirtatious.
He flirted with me.
She said that for like every guy. I was like, girl, are they really, or are you just like?
They're not all flirting with you. Come on.
Maybe they are. I know Chris Noble wants to make out with her.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. She just, but like in a cast that might be kind of weaker with the women, it will be fun to watch somebody who's sassy and perhaps won't take any crap from douchebags like Chris Noble. Unfortunately, they're not on the same tribe, but I get Simone vibes off of her, and Simone was the second boot.
Yeah, no, I could totally see that. Everyone just be like, oh, that chick, she's so.
One guy said that and talking about it. He was like, oh, I don't know.
Oh, not her.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait to get rid of her.
I don't know. I don't know.
Not feeling it. I don't remember enough about her. Maybe there's more there.
She works with horses?
Oh, she's like a horse lady?
Like a horse surgeon? I think you call that a vet.
Okay, that's
in most cases, but she just calls herself a horse surgeon. So I don't understand exactly what she's doing to these horses. But it is interesting.
Yeah. Do you have anything else? Any other light you could shed on her? I have nothing on her.
No, I don't know what Rob was seeing. I really don't.
Yeah, I got nothing on her. I don't expect her to do super well. I mean, yeah, she could easily go far. She could win probably. I don't know. I don't know.
Feel almost like she was focused more on. I don't know. I don't remember what she said. She was early on. I mean, yeah, if she can tone down the sass. But you like the sass in the confessionals. Keep it in the confessionals. And then just be chill around the camp.
Right. All right, finally, I think this is the last person.
All right.
Okay, Stephanie Johnson. This is the one that I believe we'll call Stephanie. We won't be calling her Johnson.
She's the one with big hair and bright colored clothes, right?
Right. Yep. Big
She
poofy hair.
seems like crazy, but in a good way. Like she does like ultra marathons, and she has like this
Triathlons.
Yeah, she has like this guru who's like this really old man, and like anyone with a guru is pretty amazing.
Bob Scott, 87 years old.
Yeah. Oh, I just gotta go hang out with my guru right now.
Yeah. No, yeah. She seems like that flighty, crazy lady type.
She could
crazy
come
cat
off
lady.
as like if you're gonna have a choice, if you're gonna, vote someone out, if unfortunately it comes down to two girls, are you gonna vote out the one who seems just kind of inoffensive but boring, or are you gonna vote out like the crazy one who might be getting on your nerves? But again, she's an endurance athlete, so she's probably gonna kick ass at the challenges. So I don't think you should get rid of her.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of dig her. Like, this is the closest you can be to the crazy cat lady character on the show, and be somebody that I might actually root for. Like, yeah, she's got a lot of cool jobs. She's got like 4 jobs. She mentions Mama C, as
that's a good person to pick.
Kind of a deep cut. Like, nobody remembers Worlds Apart, and we probably shouldn't remember that.
We don't want to remember it.
Yeah. But Mama C was like a good player on that season.
She was a very good player. She was, Chrissy.
Yeah, definitely Chrissy. The usual.
Mm-hmm. But
what happened to someone this season?
Probably her. No, probably. I don't know that she's gonna get that far. Just because I think if she's so like, and in everyday life, it's good to be like effervescent and bubbly and happy all the time. And if she's like that on the island, people might get annoyed with it. Just like I said about Kelan. But
right, I think everything about her is loud.
Yeah.
And people aren't going to be digging that,
They might not, yeah, but they also might appreciate kindness.
Yeah, and she also runs that risk of being out there,
Yeah. You mean like, what do you mean out there?
Like, she probably has a lot of like hippie beliefs, like I am one with the light. We are all stardust. We are all made of stars.
Isn't that a Coldplay thing?
I think it's Moby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like her. She's interesting. She's got an interesting life and an interesting story.
Yeah, I mean, I like people like this. I've always kind of liked hippies and stuff, but typically these characters on Survivor are the annoying ones that get voted off. So
yeah, it's true. I don't know. She might connect with one person and they'll be like, or like I said, she might just be so good in challenges. They're like, we can't get rid of her.
And of course, like everyone else on the cast, she's a super fan, so you can't forget that. I mean,
no.
As fans of the show, they all have an idea of how the game should be played.
It's going to be an interesting season.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that could make this season great. Like, you got great characters, they're all super fans, and then on top of that, you have this Ghost Island thing.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
That's totally new as well. So all these things mixed together, it's just going to be freaking crazy.
It could be like a watermark season. Like,
I think it could be.
I think people consider, maybe not that big, but I think people consider Cagayan and more recently Millennials Gen X like kind of watermark seasons, and then you just have some crap in between.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And we haven't had one since Millennials Gen X, and we are due. It might be time for one. So, but this has the potential. But a lot of seasons recently did have potential, and they had their moments, but overall they were.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that is the entire cast of season 36.
20 freaking people. That's a lot of people.
That is tough. That's a lot of people to talk about. Shit. My mouse, I think the battery of my mouse just died.
Oh,
no, never mind. There it is. Okay.
All kinds of problems tonight.
That would make it tough to stop the podcast.
Just keep going forever until Survivor's on. We'll just live stream our reactions to the episode.
I'd rather do that than go to my job, honestly.
Yeah, I think everybody feels that way.
Pays the bills, but man, I'd much rather sit here and talk Survivor forever.
That would be a fun job. Those people who get to do that for their jobs are pretty lucky.
So yeah, not that we were anywhere close to making any money doing YouTube stuff, but
Sure.
now we are way out of it because YouTube recently changed their monetization things. So now it's before you can monetize anything, the rules are you have to have 4,000 hours of viewing.
Oh, we should just go until
in the last 12 months. Granted,
viewing or recording, like of content.
What that would be people. So an hour listened would be like one person listened to an hour of this.
Okay.
So 4,000 hours.
Oh, we got to be close.
We actually had that last year, probably.
Oh, okay.
But the catch is you got to have 1,000 subs.
Oh, well, we're pretty far away from that.
Yeah. So we won't be considered for money ever, but that's
hey,
fine.
Man, we just got to do this for like 12 more years.
Yeah,
and
we never did it for money. Anyways.
No, of course not.
I mean,
I've missed doing it. It's been like 2 months since we've done it, so it's nice.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Like, it was nice to take a break because I'm not, obsessed with podcasting or anything. But
right,
it is fun to be back in the swing of things again, and
that's for sure.
Talking Survivor.
Did you want to make a winner pick?
Yeah, I mean, we should, but like, I didn't have one prepared. And
go with your gut, man. That's what we did last season.
It's gonna be really hard, man. Oh,
you know what? I'm gonna take a swing.
You're gonna swing for the fences?
Are we picking a guy and a girl, or are we just having one pick?
It's up to you.
Well, I want to pick James.
Oh man, that reminds me of my Woo pick. I picked Woo back in the day.
Woo could have won.
Yeah, he screwed up. Yeah.
But that's who I'm picking. I'm picking James.
Let me see. Okay.
I'll think of a girl too if we need to do that too.
James is a decent pick.
James stuck out to me from the very beginning, looking at all these people, and so I'm gonna go with my gut.
He's kind of a sleeper. Yeah.
He might be.
God, I feel like I should go with somebody who was featured in the previews.
Do it. Wendell. No.
I'm staying away from Wendell. I don't want to pick Kelan because I don't want to have the same pick as Rob. He's always wrong.
He always leads you astray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he pick Jessica? You had his pick last season.
Yeah, we both picked Jessica.
Yeah.
That was my gut before he picked it, though. So
he ruined it.
Yeah,
but she didn't win either way. So.
Shit. Man, I wish I would have prepared for this.
I didn't know I was gonna pick James until just like within the last 5 minutes.
Okay, interesting.
Who's it gonna
I'm tempted to go with Brendan Shapiro, man.
I think that's a solid pick.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's safe. I feel good about him on a lot of levels.
I haven't heard him as well. I haven't listened to as much stuff as you have apparently, but I haven't heard him as a winner pick. I don't know. Josh hasn't picked yet that I've heard. So
I'm also tempted to go with Michael too. Do you think anyone will find out that he's 18 or?
I wonder if now, like after the show, he told people, because once the cast was released, if they didn't know, they were probably like, "Oh my god." Like, it shouldn't change things, but it would for me. I'd be like, what?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, if his age is the only thing keeping you from picking him, then you should probably just pick him because he doesn't act like an 18-year-old.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I think, it could easily, his personality could change fast. And before you know it, he's acting like an 18-year-old and
true.
Getting himself in trouble.
It's possible. You're right.
Man, I wish I would have thought about this more, but
you can pick it at the top of because then you'll have seen an episode, so that's not really fair.
I could always put it in the comments.
Right.
If anybody really wants to know my picks, I could put it in the comments.
Okay. If that's what you want to do.
Or I could just, it doesn't matter. I could just pick one.
It doesn't. We're always wrong. So sorry, James, and sorry, Brendan. Is that who you're picking?
I'm going to go Brendan. Yeah, but are we doing boy, girl, or no?
We can. Yeah.
Yeah, let's pick a girl, too.
Okay. I'm going to pick Chelsea. I don't know why.
I like that. I was actually considering her before Brendan.
Okay.
I was, yeah.
Do you want to pick her too?
No.
We can have a co-pick. You have Brendan, I have James. We both have Chelsea.
It would be fun to have a co-pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Co-pick Chelsea.
All right, sounds good. We got 3 chances this time.
Yeah.
Out of 20. So really no better than 2 out of 18.
I got Brendan. We both got Chelsea as a co-pick.
Yep.
I dig it. That's awesome.
The trifecta.
All right. Any final thoughts on the season?
No, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm over Triple H. I'm ready to start fresh.
I'm excited to see Ghost Island. I'm excited to
to see what it looks like. Yeah,
see how people jive. It'll be fun.
It's gonna be good.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at TV is our real mom. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and drop us a line in the comments. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Bye.